Guilt and Death are old friends of mine. I've known them both since I was just a little kid, long before I stitched together the Spider-Man costume. Everyone I've ever loved has met a horrible and violent end. Everything I've ever touched eventually turns to dust. You okay in there, Petey? What? Fine, Uncle Ben, just fine. Well, last time I checked, young boys didn't sit and cry for no good reason. What's the matter, soldier? Flash Thompson giving you a hard time about these new glasses? Nah, Flash has been picking on some other kid these last couple of weeks. Things have actually been nice and quiet. Liz Allen been teasing you again? No way! Liz has actually been sitting beside me at lunch every day. Did you hear? She's maybe coming up to Oscorp with us for that science exhibition this weekend. Sounds to me like she's got a little crush on somebody, Mr. Parker. This time next year, you won't even want to know a dumb old guy like me. Don't say that. Come on, pal. Just tell me what's bothering you, huh? I can't. It's too stupid. Can't be that stupid if it's making you cry. Come on. Buddies aren't supposed to have secrets. Oh, okay. It's just, I was just thinking about how you and Aunt May are much older. I mean, years and years older than anybody else's folks, right? No denying that. And it just kind of hit me that if you're 20 or 30 years older than all the moms and dads, that means when everyone else's parents hit 40 and 50, you and Aunt May... What? Well, you and Aunt May might not be here anymore, and I'll be left on my own again. Ah, Peter, is that what all this is about? Come here and give me a hug, huh? Come here and give me a big hug, little monkey boy. I'm sorry, don't tell Aunt May I've been crying. Hey, don't be crazy. Of course I won't. God, and I thought I was sensitive when I was 13. We're not going anywhere, son. You see your Aunt May down there? Her mom lived till she was 98, and her grandmother lived till she was 102. Likewise, my old man smoked like a chimney and downed a bottle of scotch every night, and still lived till he was a month off 89. We're from good stock, kiddo. And besides, we'd promised your mom and dad that if anything ever happened to them, we'd be here to look after you, right? Really? Do I look like the kind of guy who's gonna let down his little brother? Only the good die young, Peter Parker. That means your old Uncle Ben here is gonna live forever. But he died, of course, just a few years later. He liked his eggs and bacon too much to live forever. But it wasn't his heart, or his lungs, or his cholesterol that finished off poor Uncle Ben. It was a burglar with a gun, and it was all my fault. I've never seen as many lilies as I saw at that funeral. Gwen was next. Gwen Stacy. That girl had a smile that could halt traffic, and yet she lived in that pink apartment filled with dolls and teddy bears. Poor little Gwen. I'll never forget how helpless she looked lying there. The smell of cordite from Osborn's pumpkin bombs. The sound of the cars, the honking of horns. Osborn's goblin glider reflecting that beautiful perfect sunlight. The sound of her neck snapping. More lilies. Uncle Ben and Gwen, Mom, Dad, and Harry Osborn, Captain Stacy, Jean DeWolf, Bennett Brent, and Freddie Foswell. Even poor old Ben Riley, God rest his soul. I've been to more funerals than anyone I've ever known, and I'm starting to wonder if it all comes down to probability. Did my becoming Spider-Man send that ripple through their lives? Is this madness on some exponential curve that just gets steeper with every passing year? I buried too many people since I put on this mask, but I won't let Aunt May be the next one to go down. Not while this animal who snatched her swears she's still alive. Not while there's still a chance. Good morning, Spider-Man. Are you surprised? What? Surprised it was me who kidnapped old May? I was scared to call at first because I thought my voice would give the whole thing away. But you really didn't figure it out, did you? You really didn't guess it was me all along. Do we know each other? Is this a joke? Am I such a second stringer now? I have to freaking tell you? Mac Gargan, the Scorpion. Tell me where she is, or I'll break your neck. Nice move, Spider-Man. Now why don't you just go on national TV and tell everyone who you are? Don't secret identities mean anything to you people anymore? Right now, all I care about is one thing, you piece of trash. Where is she? Alive, as long as you're smart enough to do as you're told. Now threaten me again, and she's dead. Even look at me the wrong way, and she's dead. I'm not kidding around here, Spider-Man. This little talk stays nice and civilized, or you're never going to see that sweet, gray-haired old tramp again. Understand? Prove it! Prove she's still alive! You really think you're in any position to make demands here, buddy? Now put me down before I get ticked off and walk away from this entire situation. Good boy. Now, let's go get some lunch and talk about what you're going to be doing for us, huh? Why did Marvel Girl think she was already dead? What? Marvel Girl, the psychic from the X-Men. Why did she tell me Aunt May was already dead? Beats me. I've never killed anyone before, Gargan. Killing somebody is just about the worst thing I can ever imagine anyone ever doing. But God help us, if you're lying to me here. Remember what I said would happen if you threatened me again, Spider-Man? How long have you known? Your secret identity? Coming up on a year this Christmas, I think. A year? Oh yeah. But why would you keep it a secret all that time? And where did you find that $5 million you gave the Daily Bugle? You're not exactly Venom, Gargan. You're B-list at best. Oh, Spider-Man, you really don't have a clue, do you? Haven't you figured all this out yet? Haven't you guessed who hired me here? This is Norman Osborn's masterpiece, kid. The Green Goblin's Revenge. What? Osborn told you who I was? Oh, he did a lot more than that, baby. Norman told me that if you ever took him down, if you ever had him arrested or publicly exposed, that this little game you've both been playing goes up a notch or two. This isn't a game, Gargan. Come on. You get a costume, he gets a costume, he kills your unborn child, you kill his son. I didn't kill Harry. Whatever. This was just one of Osborn's hundreds of plans and counterplans. You ever been in his hideout? You ever see those schemes and arrows and boxes he has all over his walls? He's had this one planned since the minute he found out who you were, kid. Why do you think he targeted the old broad instead of that hottie you eventually bagged? This doesn't make sense. If Osborn has really been behind this whole thing, why did he look so scared when I spoke to him back at Rikers? Because kidnapping May Parker was just the tip of the iceberg, Spider-Man. You never wonder why you always fight the same guys over and over again? What are you talking about? There's more to this than you and May Parker, you know. May was just the insurance policy. The real meat and potatoes is what's been going on in the background all these years. What do you mean? Imagine it's 1945 and you're one of the richest men on the planet. You got everything you ever wanted. Girls, money, power. You're living the American dream, and all the little worker bees are working around the clock to keep you there. Then these guys in masks start showing up, righting wrongs and throwing their superpowers around. They say they're here to fight injustice, and you know it's only a matter of time before they start looking at the books and seeing the way this world of yours really operates. For the first time in 1,000 years, the ruling class is under threat, and bullets weren't going to keep this revolution down. Bullets just bounce off this guy's chest. So what do? What's the genius plan that man creates to keep the Superman in check? Any ideas? Easy. They create the super bad guy. You have to remember that in those days, the world wasn't really broken down into heroes and villains as clearly as it is now. Heroes lived outside the law. That's why most of them had masks. These rich guys just saw them all as one big collective threat, and decided to set them against each other. Divide and conquer, as they say. Half the villains in the old days were just ex-GIs on a salary. Why do you think nobody important ever got off? Why did they always go after the same superheroes? They were assigned to these guys, Spider-Man. You guys were written into their contracts. Are you seriously trying to tell me all the idiots we've fought over the years have been stooges? Don't be crazy. We're talking maybe 1 or 2 organizers for each superhero. But that's all you really need. Once you start the ball rolling, you just sit back and enjoy the fun. Look at that auction last month. People were bleeding themselves dry to become an A-list villain. The whole thing becomes self-perpetuating if you're smart about it. This is garbage. You're just messing with my head. There's no way the government would create their own supervillains. But this isn't the government. These are the companies that put governments in office. And neutralizing capes was a genuine business concern when they first appeared. What's this got to do with Norman Osborn? Billionaire? Biochemist? All those big military contracts? I thought you were supposed to be smart, Spider-Man. Osborn was their favorite supervillain contractor until he went a little nuts and started flying around on that goblin glider he built for himself. Oh my god! Bush and Clinton found out about this and closed down any supervillain program they heard about. But there was some very famous names in that original cabal. That's why they have to kill him, man. He knows where all the bodies are buried. And Norman Osborn locked up in jail is the very definition of a loose cannon. As long as Osborn is locked up in that cell, he's a sitting duck for them. And any would-be assassin they want to send along to ice the poor guy. If this is true, if this really is true, why haven't they killed him before now? He's been locked up for 2 or 3 months, right? Like I said, he knows where the bodies are buried, Spider-Man. Anything happens to him, and emails and parcels start reaching all the newspapers about this stuff. Why do you think these break-ins have been happening at Oscorp? These guys can't pull the trigger till they're sure every base has been covered. And now they're almost done, huh? Exactly. All the loose ends have been tied up. And word is, they've brainwashed Dr. Octopus to kill him this weekend. Didn't you see the mess he was in a few weeks back? That's why we need your help, superhero. Norman wants you to break him out of prison tomorrow night at midnight. Forget about it! So Aunt May dies. Simple as that. What? You break the Green Goblin out of prison, there's always a possibility he's going to kill someone again. You refuse to break him out, it's an absolute guarantee May Parker is going to die. What do you think this has all been about, Spider-Man? Why do you think we've been running your rage these past few weeks? We were softening you up, kid. One phone call, that's all it would take. One phone call to S.H.I.E.L.D. and you'd be in jail for the rest of your life for this, Gargan. Yeah, well, at least I'll be comforted by the thought that this very same phone call condemned your dear old Aunt May to death. Don't you get it, freak? Either you do exactly like we tell you, or you never see that old woman again. Why are you doing this, man? Why did you go to all this trouble when there are 100 guys that could bust Norman Osborn out of prison? Because you raised the ante, Spider-Man. You put Osborn behind bars and ruined everything he's been building all these years. You've only got yourself to blame. Now, if you'll excuse me, I gotta go home and pick up this new scorpion suit Osborn arranged for me to get. Those old businessmen might not be making supervillains anymore, but Norman's still committed, and he's been reamping all your major enemies for months. No kingpin out there to bust your stones anymore. That's why he's been making the Owl into a player. That stupid green suit I used to run around in, that's why he had his doctor friend double my strength, and now I can do new fancy tricks like you wouldn't believe. I don't care about your powers. I don't care about this upgrade Osborn's giving you. I'm not going to break the law for him, Gargan. Sure you are. What makes you say that? Because I think you've buried enough friends over the years, don't you? She's dead. She's dead already. This is just Osborn playing with you, Parker. This is just one of his mind games. But what if it's not? What if he's telling the truth and Aunt May is just sitting in a room somewhere and crying for her heart pills? I go to the cops and she's dead. I go to the super people and she's dead. Oh God, what am I going to do? Hey, Mr. Parker, what took you so long? Umberto, what are you doing here? You said to meet you outside your apartment at 4 p.m. so we could go over that chemistry stuff for the paper tomorrow. I've been sitting here a couple of hours, Mr. Parker. I can't even feel my butt anymore. Oh God, I'm sorry, buddy. Something came up and things have been kind of crazy today. Could we take a rain check on this? Could you come back tomorrow at the same time? But the paper's due tomorrow, and I've been waiting here a couple of hours already, Mr. Parker. Couldn't we just take 10 minutes? Even just to cover the catalyst stuff? Please? Okay, you got 10 minutes, Umberto. Now, where did we leave off last time? Was it the enzyme chapter? Nah, it's all this catalyst and inhibitor stuff. I was off a couple of days when you covered that chapter, so I keep getting mixed up. Is a catalyst used to prevent a chemical reaction? Or is that what an inhibitor does? Mr. Parker? Are you okay? Sure, Umberto. Fine. Just fine. Now let's go back and take a look at this chapter from the beginning, huh? Wow. I love the new costume they sent you, Mac. I hear this new tail they built can take down a Winnebago now. And those cool stripes on your chest are to die for. What? You really think this is going to make a difference to your pathetic career? You really think a new tail that smashes bigger objects is going to put you on the map again? Who is this? Who's saying that? Me. Oh, I'm your new best friend, Mac. I'm your ticket out of the gutter. Just say the word, and nobody's ever going to laugh at you again, Mr. Scorpion. Aren't you embarrassed how your body looks after all those painful operations? I know who you are, and I ain't interested, creep. I got enough best friends. Oh, but Mac. You never had a friend like me before.